Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, and welcome to my craft room if you're new here. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, thank you. And if you're not a subscriber and you're watching my video, I hope you'll take the time to click the subscribe button down below and ding the bell. It'll cost you nothing, but it really helps my channel to grow. Anyway, we are here with the Love from Lizi February 2023 card kit. It's called Watercolour Wonder and it's a beautiful kit. I'll leave a link to the unboxing of the kit that I've done down below if you're interested and this is your first time seeing it. This is card 6 of 10 cards that we're making. In the description below you'll also find the links to cards 1 to 5. This card we're going to make is going to be a shaker card because I'm going to use this. It's a die set that is available on the Love from Lizi website. It was released this month as a new product to the website. It gives a beautiful die cut piece. There's 2 dies in this set. If you use the inner die, it will cut out this piece and it will just cut this image into your cardstock. If you add this second die with it, then it'll give you a border piece. And that looks like this. So this is what you get when you use the 2 dies together. This is what you get when you use just 1 die. And what I've done is I've cut it to the size that I want. So this piece I have here measures 5.5 by 5.5. I have added the beautiful pinstripe peel-offs that we got in the kit. They're holographic and I just love everything holographic. I've also taken some peel-offs from my stash and that's these pinstripe white peel-offs. And what I've done is I've put a lovely little border of white inside. So it gives great dimension to this piece and lots of sparkle and shine. This piece is going to sit on a card base that I have here. My card base measures 12 by 6 and I'm going to score this at 6. It'll give me a 6 by 6 card base and this will make the base for our shaker card. So I'll just fold that over and then burnish the score line. So you can have this as a top folding or side folding card. My preference is for a side folding card. I find that when that's set on a shelf or a mantelpiece, it doesn't tend to fall open. Whereas when you put them as a top folding card, then sometimes they can splay and go flat. So that's my preference as a side folding card, but I do sometimes make top folding cards. You know, I like to kind of shake it up a little bit. So that's our card base and this, our focal point using the add-on die, is going to sit on the front. Now I do have some mats and layers that I want to put under this. First of all, I have this piece. It is a piece of 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that's going to sit on our card base like so. I then have this piece of holographic cardstock, which is from my stash, and this piece measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and the 2 of them will sit on there. I also have a piece of acetate. Now I have this acetate, it's a construction type acetate, so it's quite heavy, but whatever acetate, even packaging from products that you're want to recycle, you can use that. On the back of this piece I have some double-sided tape. I'll take the release paper off that and then I'll be able to stick down my acetate. I've got some foam tape here, and what I did was I took a long strip, and I'll show you how I do it. I take my foam tape and I would take a long strip off, and then what I do is I just fold it over on itself like so, and I would do that with a long piece. You can see here I have 4 pieces here. I did 1 long piece and then folded down over the top of that, and that gave me this doubled up foam tape. that I like to use for my shakers. Now what you could do is die cut out a frame and die cut out that a number of times, and that then will give you dimension to the back for your shaker card. But I find the foam tape is great, and this is just some cheap foam tape that I've got in my local like Target or €2 shop, Mr. Price, or you know, something like that. I just get it there and it works a treat. So that's all the pieces we'll need for the front of our card. It'll sit on there like so, and we'll add some of the sequins. We got a little sample bag of iridescent sequins in our kit. I'm going to put some of that in behind there. For the inside of my card, I'm also going to be embellishing. I have here a piece of 5.5 by 5.5. I have a piece of black card measuring 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then I have a white piece measuring 5 by 5, and they'll sit inside our card. So it's kind of reflective of what's going on in the front of our card. On this piece then, we got a stencil in our kit, and I liked this little piece here. What I did was I took a blending brush and my stencil, and I very faintly stenciled through, and I added some over on this side as well using the stencil. So you can see there is a little bit of, you know, just a little bit going on in the background. For my sending happy birthday wishes, I used the happy from the stamp set we got, but I also used a stamp from my stash, and it's this one here. This one came in the September 2022 kit. So what I've done is I've taken the sending, I've used the happy, and then I've taken the birthday wishes. This stamp set is such a fab one to have in your stash, because you can really mix up, you know, your sentiments using that. So, you know, you can take a stamp sentiment from one stamp set and use it with this one. Now there is a large happy there, but I kind of feel this H is for the start of a sentence, whereas this H is for the middle of a sentence. So again, that's just me. So yeah, I love using my Love from Lizi stamps that I have in my stash throughout my card making. So that's the inside for our sentiment, for us to write our message. Now for final piece, I have here a happy birthday die cuts. Now these I'm using in these 10 cards. I've been using this a lot. This was a die set that was gifted to me at Christmas from a lovely lady in America called Catherine. She sent this set to me. I'm not sure if it's still available with Spellbinders, but you can see there it's the Spellbinders one. Now Lizi has fab dies with shadow dies in her on her website that you can use as well, but I liked these and I wanted to use them for this. So my happy and my birthday is going to go on the front here, and I've done it in black to pick out the black that we have going on our card. So I felt that this happy birthday sentiment was, you know, it would help if I had this the right way around. I think it allows you to see the fabulous die background that I've used, you know, and my colors, I know they have been very masculine with the blues and everything, or if you're a Chelsea fan, you know, hey, all those Chelsea fans out there, but I feel I need more masculine cards in my stash. I've very few at the moment, so hence the reason why I'm going with the kind of masculine tones. So that's all our pieces and parts for this card. I'm going to go ahead now and start assembling and gluing mats and layers together. So let's go ahead and do that. So for gluing all my mats and layers together, I like to use my Collal adhesive. I decant it into these smaller bottles, and they do come with a fine tip on these bottles like so, and I find you can just pull them out So I have one with a fine tip in the collal and one without, but I find I mostly use the one without. I use these bottles as well for my Cosmic Shimmer, and again I've done the same with the Cosmic Shimmer. When I want to glue down something intricate like this Happy Birthday die cut, I'll use this one with the fine tip nozzle, but if I'm gluing down something bigger, then I'll go for my little bottle that doesn't have the fine tip on it, and I'll use that. And I find it's really happy to have the glues you like to use in the different little bottles. It makes it easier when you're crafting. And you can see here I have lots of little homemade glue pins that I keep in my bottle, because although my desk looks very tidy at the moment, there is a lot of chaos out of shot that you can't see. So I find that a pin tends to get lost on my desk, whereas these definitely don't. So I have an Etsy shop if you would like to purchase a glue pin from me, and I also have a video on my channel showing you how I make my glue pins. So if you're interested in making your own, you have some beads in your stash and you'd like to make your own little glue pin jewelry or glue pin topper, then definitely have a look at my video on how you can do that yourself. So now I'm going to speed up gluing all these mats and layers down. You don't need to be watching me do that. So I'm going to do that next. I have my black card and my holographic card stuck down to the front of my card base. I'm going to add my foam tape next, and I want to make sure that where the foam tape meets that there is no gaps, otherwise our sequins will fall through. So now I have my foam tape on my panel. What I like to do is add the sequins to this part and then bring my panel down, and that allows me then a little bit of wiggle room. What I will do is when I take off the release paper on the foam tape, I'll add a little bit of liquid glue. This will give me a bit of wiggle room. Then once I apply pressure to the foam tape, then it will stick into place. So we want that to be on there like that, nice and even, so we can see our black border going the whole way around. So I'm going to take some of the lovely sequins that we got now, and I'm going to add that in there, and I'm really going to add the majority of it all, because they'll all sit along the bottom. So once I've that done, then what I do like to do is I like to take my little, this is an embossing buddy. It's an anti-static bag. And what I like to do is go around the inside of my panel and really get it up against the edge of the foam tape, because sometimes what can happen is the sequins can stick to the foam. And then what I'll do is I'll take a clean cloth and I'll just wipe the excess away, just like that. And that should help the sequins not stick to the edge of our foam tape. So I think I'm happy with that. We'll probably have a pile, something similar to that along the bottom. So I think that should look all right. I just add those extra little stars. So I'm going to flatten them out so I don't have a hump of them. And some of them are kind of, you know, there's a couple of them together. So I just want to make sure that the sequins aren't all clumped together. So we'll take off the release paper now on our panel, and then we'll add that down. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the collal glue. You can use quick grab glue, whatever you have to hand. It's just to give us a little bit of wiggle room so the foam doesn't grab. And this foam I'm using It's once it's down, it's down. So I'll have no wiggle room whatsoever. And I'm going to stand up now so I can make sure I get this over the top nicely. I think that's about it. It's kind of hard to make sure, but I'm going to add a bit of pressure now to the foam tape underneath. Next, I'm going to add my die cut happy birthday down onto the front of our panel. I've stuck down the happy already, and I have a block on top of that, just adding a bit of pressure so it adheres nicely, and I'll do the same with the birthday sentiment. Perfect. So we have that on the outside, our happy birthday shaker. And now we'll just add our panel to the inside. So there we go. There is our lovely shaker card using the happy birthday balloon panel that is available in the add-ons on the Love from Lizi website. I really think this makes a fun masculine card. I love the color palette on this one. I think it really does go well. And then we have our sending happy birthday wishes on the inside. So I hope you have enjoyed our make today. If you have, I hope you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And ding that bell as well, so you'll be notified when we move on to card 7, and that'll be coming in a couple of days' time. You can share your makes on the Love from Lizi Facebook group, and you can also share them on my Facebook group, Your Cards and Crafts. All the links you need are in the description down below, so click on the more, and there you'll find everything you need, including the link to my Etsy shop if you'd like to purchase a glue pin. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there, folks. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye bye.